participants. The AGB Armenian Virtual College and Chess Academy of Armenia are greeting you at our third Pan-Armenian Chess Camp and the tournament. Today is our third masterclass, and Samvel Ter-Sahakyan, a grandmaster and Armenian chess champion, is going to present a lesson to you, for you. Note that active participants are going to receive their certificates upon the completion of our camp. And please use raise hand option in case you have any questions for Samvel. Thanks a lot for your time and for joining us. Please enjoy your lesson. Samvel, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. And let me share my screen. I'm very happy that I'm here. I'm having this opportunity to discuss, to show some recent chess games, some information. Yes, today's topic will be modern chess. Nowadays, we very often see that young players starting, let's say, 15, 16 years old guys, kids, they are performing very well. And just a few minutes ago, I had my lecture in Armenian language. So I was showing game of young Indian prodigy Pragnananda. Maybe some of you know that he made to qualify to World Cup finals, and today he had his first game against former world champion Magnus Carlsen. Game ended in a draw, and yes, so modern chess, what do we understand with this? Nowadays, chess and the game has been changed a lot. And some 20 years ago, we very often used to follow some rules, but nowadays young prodigies, talents, they are not following generally any rules. They are creating their own rules. So this is very interesting and unique. So I'm going to show you another Indian talent prodigies game, Arjun Erigaisi, who is only 18 years old, but he also won a few matches in World Cup and only lost his match in a very dramatic way against Prague. So hope all of you can see my screen, and of course I will ask some questions. So d4, knight f6, bishop g5, or Trampovsky. So this is as I already said, World Cup. Many of high-rated players, they are starting from round 2. And Arjun Erigaisi as well. He started his World Cup from the second round, and his opponent was grandmaster from Belarus, Sergei Azarov. Very strong and experienced grandmaster. I myself had opportunity to play him a few times in a classical format, and many times in online tournaments, and I can say that he's a decent grandmaster. And the recent my last game I played Sergei Azarov was this year in Sharjah Masters, just few months ago. And Arjun, I also played a few times. I remember back in 2019, I had my first game against Arjun. I managed to win that game. And at that time, he was very, very young. And then I played him in World Blitz Championship in 2021. And there I also managed to win surprisingly or not. And my last game I played Arjun was back to 2022 World Chess Olympiad, where Armenian national team. I was playing for the national team, and I've had the opportunity to face Arjun in a very important and dramatic match. And I had a draw out of the opening, but for the team competitions, you don't force draw with the white pieces out of the opening, though he was rated 50, 60 elo points higher than me. I was trying to create at least some problems for him, but I managed to create only problems for me. And eventually I managed to save the game, and our team leader, Gabriel Sargsyan, managed to win against Hari Krishna Pentala, and Armenian national team won that important dramatic match. So this is second round, and Arjun had. I just very briefly will inform you. So the format of World Cup. So they are playing two classical games, and then if the score is tied, then players are playing tiebreaks, short time control games, like 25 minutes plus 10 seconds increment after each move. So Arjun and Sergey, they drew both classical games, and then Arjun and Sergey drew another two rapid games, and then another two. I think after 25 plus 10, it comes maybe 15 plus 10. And then this is the decisive game of their match. So d4, knight f6, bishop g5, Trampovsky, knight e4, one of the decent moves here for black to play. Another option is being d5. Black is not much afraid of any bishop f6 because you always take with the e pawn, and then you can, depends on circumstances, you can develop your bishop on d6 or on e7. Whenever white pushes c4, you just take on c4. So d5 is one decent option. The other is knight e4. Of course, Arjun went bishop f4 back. What's the purpose of first going bishop g5 and then placing bishop on f4? First of all, any knight d2 is a challenge for e4 knight. Any f3 is a challenge for e4 knight. So it's not obvious yet what black gets by going knight e4 so early. So d5, yes, e3 is another option. f3 was played by Arjun. Knight f6, knight c3. Yes, as we noticed, compared to the very usual London, like here, knight c3, threatening e4, and after d5, bishop f4. So it's black's turn, and with a pawn on f2. In our game, we are having this position. So again, it's black's turn, but white is having pawn on f3. So extra tempo, but it's not obvious who gets more by this pawn commitment. Yes, c5 is decent move, e6 as well. a6 was played by Sergey, e4, e6, queen d2. White is planning to castle long side and then slowly push and advance some of his pawns. So b5, e5, knight goes to d7. We are having French type of position. bishop g5, and here let's say bishop e7 was a very decent move by Sergey. Let's say if you take, I take, and later on I can slowly go c5 and then put my knight on c6. Usually here white is playing f4 and knight goes to f3. But Sergey somehow decided to play f6. And e takes, g takes. Of course, here we see that black is black's king on e8 is quite exposed. And here Arjun went bishop h6, but engine recommends bishop h4. Computers are recommending bishop h4, just keeping this pin along h4 d8 diagonal. And later on, of course, going some f4, knight f3, or going long castle and putting more pressure on e6 square. But this was, as I said, a rapid blitz, short time control format. That's why Arjun, so inaccuracies, mistakes are possible. So bishop h6, and here c5 was the best move. Bishop e7 was played. Long castle, f4 also was possible. c5, rook e1, attacking pawn on e6, b4. Here Arjun went wrong by playing knight b1. Knight a4 would have been stronger, because from here knight does support attack by attacking c5 square. So knight b1 by Arjun, knight c6, rook takes e6 was played, knight takes d4, rook e1, knight e5. Knight e2, and yes, very complicated position. From one point of view, it looks like black's king is exposed, and position is open, and white should be better. But from the other point of view, like how it will take some time to bring this knight into the game. So knight e2, and here, for example, after knight f5, black is better according to computers. So bishop f5 was played. I fully understand this decision by Sergey. He is ready to sacrifice some material, but get some activity. Knight takes, queen c7. Now c2, pawn is hanging. And it's a checkmate. So c3. And here after rook d8, black is, though black is being pawned down, black is not worse. And position is complicated. Because again, you are having knight on b1. It will take some time to, let's say, bring into the game. And whenever you put your knight on d2, always b takes c is very unpleasant. So, but somehow Sergey went king f7. And now my question is, because from having complex position, Sergey played king f7, and this is a huge blunder. Yes, please, you can take some seconds, some minutes if you need, and please send me direct messages, and I will check them. Just 1 second, I will share my screen precisely to not let everyone see your messages. Just a second. I'm going to share this one. Yes. Oops. So who is ready? Feel free to send me your messages. So it's white to play, and what did Sergey Azarov blunder by playing king f7? Yes. Hop. But it's queen takes d5. Yes, RM, please, if you can send just direct message to me, it will be better because other participants also can see what you are thinking. Yes, queen d5 is there. RN is suggesting queen takes d5. Yes, but bishop e6 is there, and position remains. Wow, wow. Thank you, Baptiste. If I'm pronouncing correctly your name. Yes, you are right, and already we are having the right answer. Yes, we will wait. Oh, yes. Let me just. Mhm. Oh, we are having RN Minassians, Queen H4. Yes, Alexander. What if I go? Okay, let me. Yes, some of you offers Queen H4. Yes, I understand the purpose of this move. Maybe somewhere going Queen H5, but please don't forget that whenever you go Queen H5, I'm always having Bishop G6. And it's a very big question what your queen is doing on H5. Yes. I think Alexander is suggesting F4. Yes. Okay. Few more seconds, and if no one really wants to send any messages, we can continue. Okay. So queen d5, bishop e6 is there, and position remains, as I said, complicated. Black definitely will put rooks on d file and c file. So that's why f4 was played. So Alexander and Baptiste offered this precise move. Yes, f4 was played. I'm sure that Sergey saw this move, but he didn't see something after few moves. Yes, I think knight is under attack. Of course, if you move your knight back, then queen takes d5 follows. I think if you just go bishop c5 here, I'm fine with taking on d5 and going queen e4. And knight is hanging, and if you move it, then you lose your bishop. So Sergey here in this position went knight g4. And if Alexander, he was only suggesting f4, then Baptiste even mentioned that after knight g4, he is taking pawn on d5, and after king g6. So he is saying either to play bishop g5, maybe here, or h3, knight takes h6, g4. Yes, but please don't forget that h3, knight takes h6, g4. First of all, always f4 pawn is hanging, which is quite unpleasant to meet. Taking the pawn with the check. So here, please, again, how should white continue? What did Sergei Azarov blunder or didn't see? Great, Baptiste. Have you ever seen that kind of idea? Yes, I decided to show it because, honestly speaking, not very often you can see such ideas. Anyone else wants to share? Wants to send any suggestion? Yes, Alexander is offering. No, but please, Alexander, what if I just take? Uh, let me answer here. Alexander. Mhm. Aren is suggesting interesting move, but I think there. Let me answer. Anush, Nelly. Any ideas? Anything? Okay, few more seconds, and I will show the move which was suggested by Baptiste. Yes, I decided to show it because to me it looks very beautiful. The way Arjun Eriga is a young Indian prodigy. Aren is suggesting some move. But what if I just take your? Yes, I will just take your bishop with the knight, and I'm controlling also f7 square by my knight on h6. Okay, let's go to answer already. So bishop d3 was suggested a few times. I think here I'm just fine after knight takes h6, bishop takes f5, knight f5. Yes, you are having some compensation, definitely, but this is also obvious that white is not winning by force. Yes, what else? Bishop c4 was suggested as well, but I think here I just take with the knight, and f7 square is under black's control. Yes, other moves, bishop g5, I don't really understand what was the idea after f takes g, because I just take it and okay, you kind of open my king a little bit more, but anyway, it looks like my king is so safe. So I think Baptiste also suggested h3, knight h6 and g4, but here the problem is queen f4 comes, as we already looked. Yes, and of course, eventually Baptiste found that queen f5 is the move. Brilliant move, which finishes the game. So king f5 is the forced, and bishop d3 comes with the checkmate, and such a beautiful checkmate could happen. But here, Sergei Azarov decided to resign. Okay, very good job. Let me show you something more here. Yes, I like this game as well. So this one, this game was played between former world champion Magnus Carlsen and Georgian player Levan Pansulaya. So as already I told, higher rated players, including Arjun Erigaisi, Prague, and of course former world champion Magnus Carlsen, who was the highest rated player in World Cup, which is going nowadays. Even today in the finals, Prague played his first game against Magnus Carlsen, and game ended in a draw. So Magnus started from second round as Erigaisi, Arjun, and Prague. Magnus as well started from second round, and his opponent was Levan Pansulaya, not a convenient opponent for Magnus, because earlier in some other tournaments, Levan managed to win against Magnus. Yes, c4, c5. First game, Magnus won with the black pieces. And you know the format, it's two classical games, and if it's the score is tied, then players are playing tie breaks, rapid games. So Magnus managed to win first game with the black pieces, so now he needs only draw to win the match. He plays white pieces, so knight f3, g6, d4, bishop g7, d5. So white gains some space by playing d5, by pushing the pawn, d6, e4, e6, h3. What's the purpose of move h3? So whenever you take on d5, I can always take with the c pawn or with the e pawn, and you don't have any bishop g4 ideas. So h3 move stops all kind of bishop g4 moves. So knight e7, knight c3. Of course, we are not afraid of any bishop c3, because after b takes c, all dark squares around black's king will be quite exposed. Yes, h6. And here bishop d3 would have been a decent choice by white. Magnus went and took on e6. Of course, we don't really consider f takes c, because it weakened a lot pawn structure, d6, e6, g6. That's why bishop e6 was played and bishop f4. And as you can see, it's not that easy for black to protect on d6, since white just wants to take with the queen or with the bishop. Of course, you are having knight c8, but knight c8 move is a sign that something earlier you made not precisely. So that's why knight c6, quite a common move for this type of positions. Black is sacrificing pawn on d6 and getting some activity. Queen takes d6. And here it was quite a hard decision for Georgian players to take on c3 and to play queen a5, because as earlier we noticed, the power of g7 bishop is quite significant. That's why you don't consider taking on c3 and going queen a5. Of course, white here can always go back queen d2. White should be a little bit careful of any rook d8 ideas to not lose queen on d6. But black is getting some counterplay. So Levon played queen a5, queen d2, knight b4. So what's the purpose of knight b4? Black is threatening rook d8 ideas. a3, first g5, because you are not really threatening any a takes b. Rook on a1 is hanging. Bishop h2, rook d8. Queen c1, and here, let's say, according to computers, the best move is to just go back with the knight to c6 and then maybe jump to d4. Because by jumping to d4, you are also threatening knight b3, fork. And if white takes on d4, then you take with a pawn, and this knight on c3 is pinned. So knight d3, bishop d3 is forced, rook takes d3, short castle. Now black, white managed to castle and complete his development, but definitely black also got something. Black took the pawn back. So knight d5, bishop takes d5, he takes d, rook takes d5. Magnus went and sacrificed his pawn. But now, as you can see, after rook e1, it's not that easy for black to castle short side, since knight on e7 is hanging. So queen d8, queen c4, and again we stop short castle ideas. So please, what did Magnus prepare after short castle? What was the idea behind? What if black would play short castle? What do you think? Great, Baptiste. So a few more seconds, please. Other members, participants. Why Levan Pansulaya didn't play short castle? Desired move to move away your king from the pin, and black is even being pawn up. Okay, 15 seconds, and I will show the right answer, which already was suggested by Baptiste. Yes, if not this move, then black is doing just great, having extra pawn and enjoying the position, and very good bishop on g7. Okay, the right continuation is rook e7. And if queen e7, there is queen d5. And if you go rook d1, it simply does not work, because I can go rook e1, or I can first take and then go rook e1. And if you try something like b5, I'm having many different moves, including queen e2. So that's why here king f8 was played. And it looks like white is already much better, but I should say that it's not right impression. Despite king is on f8 and black does not have any coordination, but it's not that easy to prove anything. So knight e5 was played by Magnus, activating some of his pieces and, of course, threatening, and for now not letting rook from d5 to go somewhere, because queen f7 is a checkmate, as you can see. But for example, here Levan had h5. Decent move, very strong move. And now you can fully understand that knight on e5 does nothing. And this rooks comes to h6. And even according to engines, after h5, black is being better. This sounds weird. I fully understand, but black is just better. So knight c6 was played by Levan, rook d1, and now rook d1 is not really working because of queen f7. Knight d4, of course, I'm very much sure that Levan saw that if he goes knight c6, then Magnus wants to play rook d1, and he prepared knight d4, king h1, avoiding all kind of checks on f3 or e2. Right now, knight f3 isn't working because you can take g pawn, and then queen f7 is a checkmate. But yes, Magnus went king h1, and again here h5, and black is having decent position. The idea is being to bring the rook. And if you think deeply, you understand the idea behind, because how long black can play without rook on h8? Of course, not very long. So that's why somehow you should solve issue of problem of h8 rook. And the best way to solve that problem is to go h5 at some point and try to free your rook through h6 square. b5 was played, queen g3, and here h5. Definitely, Georgian player understood the right idea, but we are having some question. Let me just. No. Maybe I'm not very much sure what move order you are suggesting, dear Alexander, but I think it's connected with rook takes d4, but I'm not forced here to take with the rook, so I always can take with the pawn. So queen f7 ideas aren't working really. Oh. Yes, but which so after knight e5, knight c6, and rook d1, knight d4, king h1, b5, h5, knight c6 by Magnus. So if you take knight c6, queen d5 comes, and white wins an exchange. That's why here queen b6, knight e7, attacking the rook on d5, rook d8, knight f5. And after some forced moves, Magnus got his knight on f5 instead of e5, queen g6, bishop c7, attacking the rook on d8, rook d7. And now this is final question for this game. Please take some seconds, minutes. What do you think? What's the best and winning move for white? Oh, very decent move, RN. I agree. But please, what else do you have? Wow, Alexander. Please calculate till the end. The move you are suggesting, please calculate. Yes, I know. Can you please calculate a few more moves? Wow, Aren is suggesting quite interesting move. But what if I just take it? Can I take it, Aren? Yes, what if I'm just taking it? Wow, Anush. Great. Yes, many of you suggested decent moves. Anush as well. And Baptist found the move Magnus played. Yes, yes, Baptist, you are right. But so what Baptist is suggesting, Magnus played and his opponent Levan resigned. Oh, Alexander, the first move is correct, but the second one is not. But today, while I was preparing material for you, I was checking with the computers, and I noticed that the move Anush is suggesting is correct as well. Okay, let me show you. So we are having bishop d6 suggestion. Sorry. We are having queen e4. We are having rook e8. Nelly is suggesting rook e7. So bishop d6, I'm not sure. So, okay, if king g8, I understand that knight e7 almost wins the game, at least wins an exchange. But what if I just take your bishop? Because knight d6, queen takes d6, and I'm very safe. At least d file is very close. Yes, rook e7. What do we have here? But what if I just take it? Because now knight e7 is not working because of queen d3 and then king e7. If you go bishop d6, I'm very much afraid of, let's say, at least bishop f6. And doesn't matter how do you take on e7 back. I'm just taking back. And seems like I'm having full control over position. Yes, Anush was suggesting queen e4. Decent move, winning move, threatening queen e8 and threatening queen a8. Yes. Here, Baptiste and Alexander also was suggesting rook e8, but after king takes e8, he was saying knight g7, which is not the right move. Queen just takes on g7, and you don't have anything. Or even I can go king f8 if I'm very much afraid of anything. Yes, the idea is being queen e4 check. And now, surprisingly, it's a checkmate. Like if you go queen e6, then we are having knight g7 and winning the queen. We are also having queen a8, and this is checkmate after rook d8, queen takes d8. Of course, the main if king f8, there is queen a8 and check on next move. Knight e6 is the strongest move to play. Queen a8, knight goes d8 back, and here, please, what's the last move which finishes the game? Anush, Nelly, Baptiste, Alexander. Yes, Baptiste found. Aren found. Anush, Nelly, Alexander. Alexander found. Great. Yes, dear friends, some of you found moves that Magnus played. So Aren Minassians is suggesting rook e1 check, which is also quite decent move, I think. rook goes to e1, we don't have much options. We should go there and just taking bishop d8. I think this also almost wins, but here the beautiful line is queen takes d8, rook takes d8 is forced, and rook d8 checkmate. So this was second win in this match, and Magnus advanced to the next round, and his next opponent was Norwegian player Arjan Tari. Magnus won with the white pieces and drew his second game and advanced to the next round, where he faced young prodigy from Germany, Vincent Gamer. And that match was very tough for Magnus because he lost the first game with the black pieces. Magnus blundered and lost in a equal position. And Magnus later on managed to come back and win with the white pieces. And in tiebreak, Magnus was he was getting winning positions, but some of them he couldn't win, and eventually he won his match against Vincent. And the next opponent for Magnus was who was the next opponent for Magnus? It was I think he played. Whom did Magnus? Oh, wait a second. I think before playing Abbasov in semifinals, he won against Abbasov 1.5 half. He won first game with the white pieces and drew his second game with the black and advanced to the finals, where today he faced young Prague, and game ended in a draw. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yerevan time, players are going to play second game of their match. But right now, I just don't remember whom did Magnus win in after winning his match against Vincent. I think it was wait a second, I can check it here. And we can slowly finish. World Cup. Yes, games. Yes, Magnus Carlsen. Yes, he won after winning his match against Vincent Gamer. He won 2-0 against Vasil Ivanchuk. Yes, I couldn't remember this match. Yes, he won 2-0. Yes, and then after winning against Ivanchuk, he was playing another Indian prodigy, Gukesh. And against Gukesh, first game with the black pieces, Magnus managed to win. And second game with the white pieces, it was though very tough game for Magnus. He eventually drew the game and advanced to the semifinals, where already he won his match against Abbasov. So, dear friends, if you have any questions related to today's game I showed, or generally, please feel free to ask them. Yes, we will wait a few more seconds to see any questions, any raised hands. But since we are not seeing any of them, so most likely we should slowly end our Okay, I think we can already finish if no other questions. Thank you very much to all of you. It was very interesting to read all your suggestions, ideas, variations, and Baptiste, continue playing chess, and other members as well. But today you were very active. Yes, thank you everyone, and I think we can already finish our meeting.
Thank you, Samvel, so much for a wonderful presentation session today. I think we learned a lot from you, even a person like me who absolutely has no knowledge of chess, but anyway, it was so nice and interesting listening to you. Dear friends, please don't forget to follow our pages to be updated on the upcoming events. And looking forward to seeing you back very soon. We're meeting again. Follow us. Thanks a lot for your time and take care. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.